I'm Hilda. Welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to make chocolate hazelnut spread. A lot of people know this as Nutella or Nutella, but it's seriously yummy. And I'm going to make two versions. I'm going to make a milk chocolate version as well as a dark chocolate version for those of you who prefer dark chocolate. It involves a few ingredients, roasting the hazelnuts in the oven, and the rest of it is done in the food processor. Simple. Okay, so to make our own chocolate hazelnut spread with great ingredients that are in your kitchen, you know exactly what's going into it and what's not going into it. So here are the ingredients. 1 cup of hazelnuts, they're going to be toasted and the husk is going to be removed from the hazelnuts. 12 ounces of chocolate, whether you prefer milk or semi-sweet or dark, it's up to you. 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil or butter, melted. I prefer to add extra virgin olive oil. However, you certainly can replace it with melted butter. I like to replace typically melted butter in all recipes with extra virgin olive oil. I just think it's a better choice. And this one happens to be an extra virgin olive oil from California. It's a producer called Bondolio. They make a fantastic quality extra virgin olive oil that has 3 cultivars that are typically found in Sicily and not normally grown in California. So if you want to try some great extra virgin olive oil, I highly recommend Bondolio. Great extra virgin olive oil. We are going to use 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. We are going to use a teaspoon of vanilla. The vanilla you can certainly buy in any grocery store, or you can make your own. We have recipes on how to make your own vanilla, rum, or bourbon extracts. Then we're going to use 1/4 teaspoon salt, 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, and a tablespoon of maple syrup to round it all out. Okay, let's get started. So I'm going to take my hazelnuts, put them on a baking tray, and I'm going to roast them for 8 to 10 minutes, 350 degrees in an oven. And then once they cool slightly, I'm going to rub them in a tea towel, and we're going to remove most of these husks. From the oven, that makes so much noise. 8. Okay. Just rubbing my nuts. No, just hot nuts. Get your hot toasted nuts. All right, so we're putting our hazelnuts in a little warm in a cloth, and we're going to try and get some of these skins off, depending on how fresh they are. Might be difficult. Okay. Whoops. Right away. Okay, so we have our hazelnuts. You can see that some of the husks have come off. Not all of it, and that's okay. These tend to be, I think these are really fresh, and so they're not coming off easily. I don't want to burn them, so I don't want to put them in for much longer than 10 to 12 minutes. But it's certainly not a problem if you have some of the, whoops, whoop, whoop, some of the hulls on it, so it's quite all right. You can actually make it without even doing this step. I think that when you toast the hazelnuts, it makes for a nicer taste and it brings out the oils. So again, because we're gonna put it in a food processor and make it into a butter, we do want the oils to come out, which is essentially what you're doing. So I'm going to put these into my food processor and leave most of these hazelnut hulls back. Now I'm using 2 cups of hazelnuts. The recipe calls for 1, but that's because I'm making 2 versions, one with dark chocolate and one with milk chocolate. Oh my gosh, when we were kids, I'm telling you, we used to go every day to Bill's Market, my girlfriend Kim and I, and we would have to buy a nice Italian fresh bread every day, and we would have this Nutella or chocolate spread on top of big chunks of fresh white Italian bread. Mmm, so good. Really, in what world is chocolate like a great snack for kids? But anyways, it was the European thing to do. So if you want to zoom in here, you can see there are still some hulls that are left over. It's not perfect, but it's better than having all of them in there. Okay, now this is the noisy part. We're going to turn this on. It's going to make a lot of noise. It's going to go from a nut to a powder, and then eventually it's going to go to a butter. But it does take a bit of time. So because this is a noisy process, we're going to turn it on and then fast forward. Okay, so it's essentially butter. If you can find hazelnut butter in a store and you want to bypass this entirely, no problem. I like this because I know exactly what's in it. Hazelnuts, nothing else. There we go. All right, see? Smooth. Creamy hazelnut paste, butter. Okay, I'm gonna do it one more time. Gonna get a smooth consistency, and then I'm gonna start adding the other ingredients. Hazelnut butter. If you can find it in the store and you wanna skip this step entirely, go right ahead, but that's essentially roasted hazelnuts, blended in a food processor. You can also use a grape blender if you have a Vitamix. Okay. After we've done our nut butter, you can, because I'm doing 2 batches, I had to divide it in half. Essentially, from 1 cup, you're gonna get 3/4 of a cup of nut butter. So I have 3/4 of a cup for the dark and 3/4 of a cup for the milk. So what I've done is I've taken the milk chocolate chunks and I put them in just a heat-proof microwavable container. I turn on the microwave for 1 minute. I stop, I stir, and then I do 2 more 30-second increments. 1 minute and 30 to 2 full minutes should do it. Milk chocolate tends to melt a little quicker than dark chocolate. The dark chocolate had exactly 2 minutes to melt. But it's an easy way to do it, or certainly you can put it on a bain-marie, which is a little container of water with a couple of inches of water, like a pot that's got a couple of inches of water on it. You can put a metal or a bowl, a ceramic bowl on top of it, put your melted chocolate chips so that the water is not touching the bowl and it can gently melt. I find the microwave to work perfect, and exactly 2 minutes you have it done. All right. Ooh, look at it, chocolatey. You know you want some. Come on, that looks delicious. Who doesn't like chocolate? And those people are suspect. Chocolate's the best. Yummy. Kim, this is for you. And you want to make sure you get every bit. So that stuff is good eating. Okay. So, there's one bowl. There's my milk chocolate. Let's see if I can do this quickly. So you're not bored to tears waiting for me. Okay. Chocolate. Typically the chocolate spread you buy in the store is made with milk chocolate. So if you want to be true to the brand you fell in love with, oh my gosh, when I was a kid, my dad used to make crepes. He's Czechoslovakian, so he used to call them palacinke. And he used to put lemon and sugar on top, or he would put Nutella. And my friend Kim's dad used to take grated chocolate and put his chocolate, for his palacinke, he used to add grated chocolate and sugar. We didn't know what pancakes were in our house. Like, North American pancakes didn't exist. Okay, so I'm gonna add, making a mess. Okay, my extra virgin olive oil in both. You can certainly use melted butter, but why would you if you could get great extra virgin olive oil? And we'll have some discussions on extra virgin olive oil. Here's the salt and the cinnamon. Salt and cinnamon. Last three things. I got my vanilla. I'm gonna put a teaspoon of vanilla. Mine happens to be rum vanilla. Come on, look at all those little seeds. Yummy. Okay. A tablespoon. I guess I should do cocoa first because it's dry. And a puff of smoke. This is a nice cocoa. Dark. And last but not least, a tablespoon of maple syrup. Because you know that we would put maple syrup on anything. Right, Petey?
You betcha.
Honestly, Canadians would put maple syrup on anything. Dang. Got some good eating. All right. Excuse my mess. All right. So zoom on in. I'm just going to mix this all in. Look how glorious this looks. Oh my gosh. It's crazy. This is crazy good. Decadent. Oh my gosh. It smells so good. You know you want this. And it firms up. See, it just kind of goes into a more of a paste so that you can spread it. See how fast that was? Amazing. There we go. There's the milk chocolate. Ooh, look at that. That's crazy. And then all of a sudden it turns into a butter. Right? Oh my God. There you go. Milk chocolate, dark chocolate. Ooh, 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 ooh. And I have these cute little jars. Then I'm going to put them in. Try not to be. Okay, so our final products are here. I just put them in cute little containers like this. In reality, it's better if you put a container like this because you can take this container, you can microwave it. So if you want it to be more of a butter-like consistency, then you should add the cocoa. If you want it to be more of a smooth, softer consistency, then you can omit it. You can also just zap it in the microwave, 10, 15, 30 seconds, stir it, and it'll come back to this. So it will eventually solidify because it doesn't have all the preservatives and emulsifiers in it. So the olive oil will help, but if you want it to come back to this kind of a consistency, which is really like what it is in the jar, then you just have to microwave for a few seconds and you're good to go. Otherwise, it will be butter-like. So hope you enjoy this recipe. Hope you try it. Big, soft, pillowy, fresh Italian bread slathered with this is awesome. Okay. Don't like it. Starting over. Start again.